Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, YouTube. I am back here with another franchise ranking video, and since it's the holiday season, I thought it was a perfect time to finally do my Die Hard franchise ranking. As many of you know, Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie, and don't let anyone tell you different. Now, this is going to come as a shock to all of you, probably, but I had never seen, in addition to a few other movies in this franchise, the original Die Hard movie, aside from like 10 to 15 minutes of it, until 2021. As I was going to do this video last Christmas, but I kind of put it together at the last moment and didn't get all the movies watched in time. And I didn't want to post the video after Christmas because it doesn't make sense to post this video unless there's a new Die Hard movie coming out on Christmas. So my introduction to this series was Die Hard with a Vengeance. I watched that on pay-per-view in 1995, and I did watch Live Free or Die Hard when it came out on physical media in 2007, but I'd never previously watched Die Hard aside from 10 to 15 minutes of it, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, or A Good Day to Die Hard until last year. So for some of these movies, it's my second time that I watched them. And for a few others, I'd watched them at least 4 to 5 times. So yeah, I know, it's crazy. I'd never watched the original Die Hard. I had heard it was a good movie. I'd never heard it's one of the most amazing action movies of all time until listening to Cody Leach and Sean Chandler talk about it. Obviously, they talked about it for a long time, but until like 2020 or 2019, that's when I really started hearing a lot about this movie. And I wanted to watch it beforehand and just kind of lined up last year with when I wanted to get motivated to watch it. So yeah, it's crazy that I never watched it. 10 to 15 minutes, like 10 years ago, I watched, and I didn't even know what Die Hard movie it was until obviously watching it last year. So, of course, with this ranking, I may or may not talk about spoilers. So if you haven't watched all 5 Die Hard movies, then I highly suggest that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And I really like doing franchise ranking videos. So what I'll do is I'll put at the end screen with about 20 seconds left of this video, I'll put my franchise ranking playlist. If you want to check that out, it'll be right there. I like doing them. If you have any recommendations for any franchises that you want me to rank, please leave that in the comments section, as I really enjoy them. But the views on them aren't the best, but some people grow their YouTube channel through their franchise rankings, so maybe someday I'll have one that goes viral. I don't expect it, but hey, it's something I enjoy doing, and I don't mind doing it. It just obviously takes time, especially if I haven't watched all the movies. Like, if you tell me to watch all the Lord of the Rings movies, that's going to take me probably 2 months to complete. Potentially, if you want me to include the Hobbit movies and all that, potentially could take me a long time. But, of course, if you are a fan of Die Hard and love the Die Hard franchise, and it's really unfortunate what's happened to Bruce Willis, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please smash that like button. It really does help out. Share this video with anybody that you know, or put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are, any recommendations as far as franchise rankings that you want to see me do, or your ranking of the Die Hard franchise. And a lot of people probably have the same ranking, and I really tried to be different. Now, we'll find out if I'm as different as anybody else goes. Anything you want to leave, just make sure you leave that in the comment section. Of course, last but certainly not least, you're watching the video anyway, so don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and of course, be a part of something special. So, my Die Hard franchise ranking, my number 5 in last place, and I really don't want to talk a lot about this, but you all know what it is already. A Good Day to Die Hard. This is not a good movie. It's not even a long movie. Usually the Die Hard movies are about 2 hours long. This is like an hour and 30 minutes, and it's like kind of put together really quickly. Now, I will say this, a lot of people that do reviews of this say that Bruce Willis is a terrible character in this movie, and like his son bashes him every chance he gets. I didn't necessarily notice that. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to it as much. I mean, I was kind of playing with my phone, watching the movie, playing with my phone, at least today when I'm recording this video. But I I don't see that being the issue with it. I just think the villain is not memorable at all. They try to trick us on who the villain is, and I saw that coming, but I don't even really remember the villain's name. It's probably because it's a Russian villain and the names are different, obviously. But I didn't like the villain at all, and the movie isn't as bad as people say it is, but it's definitely not a good movie. Another complaint I have about the movie when Jack and John McClane get home from when they get off the helicopter and his daughter is there, Lucy. She hugs Jack but doesn't hug John, her father. I don't know if that just because she saw him more recently, but I think, maybe she doesn't know how crazy shit got in Russia or wherever the hell they were. But I was very annoyed by that. But yeah, this movie is terrible. Honestly, I don't foresee myself ever watching this movie again unless eventually someday they do come out with another Die Hard movie, which unfortunately won't have Bruce Willis in it. Then I'll probably have to watch it to do a updated ranking. But this movie definitely isn't good, and fuck this movie. So I hope you enjoyed my thoughts about A Good Day to Die Hard, and I probably talked about it 5 minutes too long. Coming in fourth place. And actually, this is really tough because all the movies now are really awesome movies. It's hard to rank them all. Well, a few of them are hard to rank. But my number 4, at least at this moment, is Die Hard 2. Die Harder. This is actually a really fun movie. I think there's too many villains in the movie, and there's too many villains that make it difficult to get invested in one specific villain. It's good. I don't know why William Sadler's character had to be naked at the beginning of the movie. That was kind of weird to me. But I actually really liked the movie. I thought it was really well done. And of course, a lot of people say this, and I'm going to agree with them. The movie is the most like the original Die Hard, and it is a lot of fun. I like that they brought Reginald Vell Johnson back for a brief moment in this movie to talk to John McClane, and I like the issues that John McClane has with Dennis Francis' character in this. And eventually, at the end of the movie, they're like, cool. But through the whole movie, he's a dick to John McClane. Again, too many villains, too many of the army or special forces guys. It's hard to think or hard to say. And then you got the guy that's down in the basement area, or what, I'm saying it wrong, but I can't remember his name. But he was kind of like a good helping hand to John McClane. I liked his character. I'm sorry, I didn't write his name down, but I enjoyed the movie, and it easily could be my number 3. Again, some of these are so close and so good that it's hard to do the ranking from here on out. But Die Hard 2, Die Harder, is currently my number 4. Number 3, this was actually really tough. Now, if I did this ranking last year like I anticipated, this one would be number 2, because I really liked this movie last year. Upon watching this year, I still love the movie, but the other one I like slightly better now. So last year, this would be a number 2, but right now, it's in number 3, and that would be Live Free or Die Hard. I think this is a fun movie. I like it because it's more modern. You have Thomas Gabriel wanted to complete his fire sale, and different things are being shut down through the movie, so that's awesome. John McClane is really awesome, and I should say I watched the unrated version on this DVD. Yes, I have this on DVD, so I guess the unrated version is a different experience, although I hear it's an R-rated version. Is there a separate R-rated version, or is this the version that they're talking about? But regardless of the fact, this one I watched when it originally came out on physical media, and I like it. Now, I do kind of like Timothy Olyphant a lot, so maybe that's, that has some pull as far as, well, I really like the movie because Timothy Olyphant is in it, but it's just really good, and it's fun. You've got Justin Long, who I think gives a great performance in the movie, and in the end, he's the one that kind of saves Lucy. He shoots the guy so Lucy doesn't get hurt, and then Bruce Willis, John McClane, has to tell him, hey, thanks for saving my daughter. That was awesome. So it had some heart to it, and I really enjoyed it, and it's just a fun movie. Maggie Q was awesome in it as well. Pretty awesome fight scene with her and Bruce Willis, or her and John McClane. I wish she would have lasted a little bit longer. But all in all, Live Free or Die Hard is a lot of fun. And I also like Cliff Curtis as well, who plays like the FBI director or whatever his position was. But Live Free or Die Hard is currently my number 3, but would have been number 2 last year. Speaking of number 2, at the moment, my number 2 is Die Hard with a Vengeance. This is the first Die Hard movie that I watched, and it's a lot of fun. At some points, it seems a little long, but watching it this year, it didn't seem as long to me. Obviously, you probably have the second best character in the Die Hard franchise, being Zeus, at least for the protagonist. He was awesome. Him and Bruce Willis have a great chemistry in this movie and other movies that they're in, and I just really enjoyed it. Now, I don't like the villain as much as some people do. Simon, who is obviously the brother of the villain in the first movie, Hans Gruber's brother. But he was good. He was entertaining. He kept keeping John McClane busy with all these riddles so he could take all this gold and all that. And it's a lot of fun. And again, the chemistry between Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis, I think, is the main part of this movie that's awesome. The ending of this movie I don't like as much as Live Free or Die Hard, but it's still a phenomenal movie, and that's why it has to be number 2 on my ranking. And unfortunately, there's really no surprise. I think this is a lot of people's ranking video, but my number 1 is going to be the original Die Hard. I never knew how great this movie was. Now, do I think it's the greatest action movie of all time? I do not. I don't think it's that great, but it is really fun, and I didn't realize how good it was for a movie with Bruce Willis. I guess Bruce Willis hasn't necessarily been one of my favorites. I like him, but he's never been one of my favorites. But this movie is awesome with him in that building trying to save everybody. His relationship he develops with Reginald VelJohnson, the guy from Family Matters, who I absolutely love. My complaint about Die Hard, him not having shoes. Some of the stuff he did without shoes on is not realistic. Of course, most of the stuff in these movies isn't necessarily realistic, so that might be an issue I have with all these movies. They're not necessarily that realistic, but still, it's an awesome movie. Hans Gruber is a fucking amazing villain. The part where, he's out and about by himself, and then Bruce Willis sees him, then he pretends oh, you're one of the bad guys, don't shoot me. And of course, Bruce Willis, John McClane, wait a minute, something's off about this guy. So it's awesome. I can't really talk more about it. It's stuff you've already heard, and I don't necessarily want to ramble on. So Die Hard is definitely my favorite Die Hard movie. And like I said, 4 through 2 could be interchangeable. At the moment, I have my ranking where it is right now, but number 4, number 3, and number 2 could switch places. You never know. It depends on a rewatch. I had some hard times getting through 4, Live Free or Die Hard, and I had a hard time, to a degree, getting through Die Harder. But still amazing movies. For the first 4 movies as a franchise, they're pretty awesome. Now, obviously, the drop-off with number 5 is, whoa, that's terrible. You have a franchise like Scream that has 5 movies. All those are pretty damn good. Scream 3 is 1 million times better than A Good Day to Die Hard. So, I'm done rambling. You've heard my ranking. Let's go over it one more time. Number 5, A Good Day to Die Hard. Number 4, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Number 3, Live Free or Die Hard. Number 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance. And my number 1, Die Hard. So, like I said, right here, I'm putting my franchise ranking video playlist with about 20 seconds left in the video if you want to check that out. Give me some suggestions on any other franchises that you want to see me rank. sound off in the comments section about your ranking or anything else that you have to say. Don't forget to smash that like button to help me out with the YouTube algorithm and show that you're a die-hard fan. Share the video with anybody that you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, share your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.